let's talk about how you can use Kagan structures in your socially distanced or NTI classroom. You can still facilitate quality discussion through structures. For this particular example, we're going to use Jamboard, which is a tool that lives inside of your Google account. So let's take a look at the structure for a timed round robin. In the traditional directions, step 1 would be the teacher poses a question or problem. For step 2, the teacher allows the students to write their answers with the use of a running timer to help facilitate. In step 3, based on students' seating, each student takes turns reading their answers, while other students take notes quietly. Often the teacher will use a timer during this part as well. So in a traditional classroom, there might be a Kagan structure or mat that looks like this, where each student is assigned a seat number 1, 2, 3, or 4. They have a shoulder partner and they have a face partner. They also might have a letter, A or B. And so if the mat is on their table, they can be given directions by the teacher and be told what to do during a particular time. So for example, during the timed round robin, they might say, okay, if you are seat 1, you are going to start sharing, or turn and share with your shoulder partners, or share your responses with your face partners. Those are all the kinds of things that a teacher might say using this particular setup. So how do you set it up to be successful in a Jamboard? Well, during your NTI meeting or during your classroom meeting for your socially distanced class, or in Schoology, you would put a group list of who is going to be in a group. Each group will be assigned a slide on the Jam. So let's take a look at how we might do this in Jamboard and how we might set it up. So I'm going to come out to my Google Drive, and I'm inside of a folder called Kagan, and I'm just going to go to New, More, Google Jamboard, and this is going to start a plain whiteboard. Okay, now I am going to add a photo, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select a file from my drive, and I'm going to upload a image that I made that looks like a Kagan map. And then I'm just going to resize that so that it sits on top of the slide. Okay, and for each group that you have, you're just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to Command C, copy, and create a new slide and go Command V. And then Command V again, and Command V one more time. And each of the groups that I assign would correspond to one of these numbers up here. So right now that's 1. So right now that's 1 of 4, 2 of 4, etc. Now the way this is used is I would press share, and I'm going to copy the link. I would suggest that you change this so that anyone with the link could use it in case kids aren't logged into their school Google accounts. And you'll copy this link and drop it into Schoology or into your team meeting. And then once students enter, what they're going to do is they're going to, on one of their spots, if they're seat 1, seat 2, seat 3, or seat 4, they can add sticky notes and change the color if they want, and then type their response to the question, and then just drag it over to the place where they should be, just like that. You might also ask students to insert a text box and type their name so that you know who is typing in which box. Okay, so the way this would work in NTI or the socially distanced classroom is the teacher would, in a Teams meeting or inside of your real classroom, provide the students with a prompt, and then the students would each choose a number that they're going to use, and they would each choose a sticky note color, and they would choose a sticky note color just to help distinguish who's writing what. And once they've done that, the teacher would provide them with the prompt, and the students would then just rapidly begin to add sticky notes to respond to the prompt. And as they were responding, they would put their responses on their numbers. When time is called, either in the Teams meeting or the real meeting, the teacher would instruct the students to examine each other's work. So they might say, look at your shoulder partner's work and use the highlighter tool to highlight similar responses. Or they might say, examine all of the work and add a sticker or add a shape next to the ones that are similar to the ones that you wrote. And so what this is going to do is it's going to give students a way to visually start categorizing information, see similarities and differences in the work, and then the teacher could display their screen either on the smartboard or on the Teams meeting and kind of pop through each of these and look to see what the groups were finding in their answers. So this is just one structure that you might bring into your toolkit and try out with students.